Yesterday was the hearing for the Clarity Act, and some very critical updates are created, which I need to share with you here on today's video. It will be a very, very important one for everybody who is a cryptocurrency holder and a Bitcoin holder. I want to provide some brief macro-based Bitcoin updates. Short term, not much has changed. I feel like some people lose touch on why we are here in this industry. When times are tough, times are boring, we forget the macro picture and the huge opportunity that I see for myself lining up right around the corner. Stay tuned. I'm going to cover that and also more on today's video, such as inflation, crude oil, President Trump related news, so on and so forth. If you do enjoy this update, please do me a favor and destroy that like button, as it helps tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe for daily updates. With that, guys and girls, let's commence with a short Bitcoin technical analysis overview. Macro, 4-day time frame, huge falling wedge pattern, 200 daily moving average giving us resistance at the top. If you pivot back into the prior cycle, exact same falling wedge pattern was formed. You broke above its resistance corresponding near the 200 daily moving average resistance, and through that break and retest to both, you ended the bear market for good and pivoted into a bull market. My plan of action for this cycle, folks, is that as soon as Bitcoin breaks above these two resistances, I'm a believer that in July we reach towards 70K, experience a final dump capitulation in Q4, then break to the upside. During that break of 200 daily moving average and falling wedge resistance, I'm going to go heavy into Bitcoin long positions. Heavy into Bitcoin long positions. These will be longs, which I personally aim to hold for 2.5 years until we reach the peak of the upcoming bull market cycle. And I'm confident that it will deliver significant returns. This will be a very, very, very critical opportunity for myself in my trading journey. And sometimes you need to be patient. Sometimes you need to prepare in unvolatile, boring environments as such and take action when that time is due. Wait it out, and the profits you can reap down the line. That is the Bitcoin overview, Bitcoin analysis. Let's talk about the hearing which took place for the Clarity Act yesterday. Politicians were present. We saw key industry players present. In the politics side of attendees, we got 0 Democrats. It's a little bit concerning. It's 1 year. We've marked the 1-year anniversary of the House, of the Congress passing the Clarity Act, then presenting it to the Senate floor. However, since then, Democrats' mindset and understanding of crypto have steered into a negative direction because of negative, how do you call it? Some very powerful people use crypto in a bad way. It doesn't make cryptocurrencies bad, not at all. iPhone is a fantastic, life-changing invention, but bad people can use the iPhone for bad things, but it doesn't make the iPhone a bad piece of technology that shouldn't be given to the masses, regulated properly, etc., etc. Same thing with electricity, same thing with the internet. The internet can be used for bad, but does it make the internet bad? Should we enforce the internet so nobody has access to it? It's a clear distinction that must be made ASAP. The Democrats need to be on board with clarity, pass it in the Senate, restrict the bad actors through positive regulation, and allow the innovation to reach every corner of the world. Like, look at the DTCC. We spoke about things that I'm putting my money into in accordance with the Clarity Act on yesterday's update. I'll put a card at the top right-hand corner or a link in the description down below as well. I'm putting my capital into places like Canton, Ethereum, so on and so forth. The DTCC, an institution which processes almost all of American securities transactions, they piloted their tokenization program. They put the SPY ETF, one of the largest ETFs in the world. They put Microsoft stock. They put the QQQ on chain, served it to their customers, were incredibly happy about it. And in October, they want to put slowly their $4.7 quadrillion worth of volume slowly into crypto. In the next 3 years, they expect 5% of 4.7 quadrillion to be all on chain. Do you understand the opportunity? It's a massive opportunity. The Clarity Act is the final turn on the key to unlock your door Institutions like Wisdom Tree Capital, $160 billion AUM, they launched a tokenized gold product without clarity being passed, without legislation confirming, okay, this is a fine thing to offer and it's a fine thing to invest in. They took the risk. The investors took on the risk. And these people, including JP Morgan, putting $1 billion on Ethereum, creating their tokenized money market funds without the proper codified legislation, only with a promise from the SEC and CFTC that could change with a new administration in power, shows how bullish everybody is. And when we get clarity, the flood of capital will be 10x, 100x. We saw the Genius Act get passed. This pushed stable coins up. People will start to use more stable coins in the world. Hyperinflationary governments, countries, they will pivot to American-based stable coins. If they own American stable coins, they can invest into American markets. Simple as. Tokenization is on a faster growth curve than ETFs. It took 30 years to rival mutual funds at a $10+ trillion size. Tokenization will beat it. This is the play. This is where the opportunity sits, and we must concentrate and capitalize on it to our largest ability possible. Inflation. Crude oil is close to reaching our $82 bucks target. We drew a squiggly line inverse head and shoulder pattern and said that, look, there's a gap at $82. We had a gap identified at 67, which closed as predicted. Now we can probably reach $82. Global geo is going into a bad direction, wishing for the safety and praying for a most peaceful resolution possible ASAP. But from the things that I'm reading, it looks quite concerning. In the short term, yes, it will be bad for Bitcoin. When we look at it from a purely Bitcoin lens, I think crude oil will close that $82 gap that it has. It's more visible on the 4-hourly and 1-hourly timeframes. President Trump, his tariffs were considered illegal by the Supreme Court. You may remember from 4 or 5 months ago, the US issued an $81 billion refund after the court ruling. So they issued it. Crazy, unbelievable. They wanted to close the deficit. They wanted to introduce the Department of Government Efficiency that is gone to save money for America. And they've ended up paying $81 billion from pocket due to Trump's illegal policies. Now, Trump is threatening Canada with tariffs that would also be illegal. So I hope this comes to an end and they will stop wasting money. Speaking of money, President Trump put his face on the Trump coin, not a new cryptocurrency. It is actually a physical coin. Trump is now on a coin. Unbelievable. And that wraps up, guys and girls, our update for today. Make of that what you wish. Actually, there was one more thing that I wanted to cover that I personally found to be a little bit ridiculous. Here it is. Trump media is reportedly seeking as much as $100,000 per month to provide banks and trading firms with the fastest access to Trump's tweets. He's like posted over 20, he's posted about, I've read this the other day, he's posted over a dozen, close to 20 companies, or promoted them on his True Social platform, and he took trades of them as a sitting American president. What to say? What to say? Can you blame the Democrats for not liking the Clarity Act so much? I don't believe so. Guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you're looking for a place to be trading cryptocurrencies, check out the links in the description to our partners below, BTCC, LabX, Bybit, and Weeks. We appreciate you. Thank you. Take care. And as always, bye-bye.